Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of eCommerce Mastery. I'm your host, Ben Gothard, and today we get to speak with a gentleman by the name of Riley Stewart. Now, why have I brought Riley onto the show today? Well, one, this gentleman right here is one of the top dogs in the ClickFunnels community as far as success goes. He has a big trophy above him that you will see on his wall. Two, so he knows marketing, understands sales funnels, understands how to work online and sell stuff online. Wizard. Second, he works with gym owners and he helps them build their businesses. And gyms, as we know, gyms are membership businesses. So what we're going to talk about today are the principles of how to build a membership business. And we're going to tie it into ecom. It's going to be awesome. So you're getting marketing, you're getting membership, and you're going to get a fantastic bunch of implementable education right now. So without any further ado, Riley, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ben, and thank you everyone else for tuning in. Thanks for the invite. Glad I'm here. I'm just enjoy sharing things, so I'm glad we're here.
Absolutely, man. And thank you so much for coming on. So want to get right into it. Love to hear your story.
My business story, actually selling to people that weren't friends and neighbors, started with e-commerce. So I tried to, originally I went to uni and studied engineering and business, double degree. And then I decided that kind of path of corporate engineering was not for me. And I wanted to get out and do business straight away. Like, why wait? I'm very much an action taker, and of all the thousands of businesses that we have worked with now to help them make money, it's definitely the ones that are action takers that make the most. So I decided I would just go out and start businesses after having 4 months to cool off traveling around Asia. And the first one I started was an e-commerce business selling bracelets that I had picked up in Asia. So I've still got them, Ben. I bought 300 stone bracelets, and I've still got them in my cupboard as a memory. I've still got like 294 of them because I thought, this is genius. I'll be able to sell all these bracelets because I've watched a few marketing courses, and now I can go ahead and sell these things on Shopify. And then it obviously didn't turn out that way because it turned out little stone bracelets were like the most commoditized item I could have bought. And they were being sold by competitors for $3 when I had bought them for $3. So that didn't really work out.
I'm not sure those numbers work out in your favor, my man.
No, it was not good. But it was a good first attempt. I learned to build websites. I started to learn Facebook ads. And then I thought, how can I apply this marketing skill? Because clearly marketing, I believe marketing and sales is the most powerful skill you can learn, because you basically figure out how to build a machine that prints money. Like, that's what's more powerful than that. And then you can print money for other businesses that you deem valuable as well. So you really get a lot of control over how things work. So I wanted to become the best marketer possible. And I dialed in. I did some more e-commerce, just kind of practice my skill. And it did get a little bit better than that. But then I decided I would start marketing for other businesses because they had the demand and they were already established and they had money to pay me. I just needed to help them make more money. So I targeted gyms as a long-term gym goer myself, and then gradually built that up. Obviously started at one gym, gradually built that up, became very, very good at it because I said I wanted to be the best. Spent about $100,000 on coaching, took about another $100,000 worth of courses. Then I ended up buying a gym to try it out myself because I saw all these gym owners messing a lot of the process up. So I wanted to kind of had my own mad scientist lab, scaled the team up to 7 figures, 13 staff, and then also took over 3 more gyms. So now I have 4 of my own gyms. We got last year, got the 2 Comma Club award, went on stage at the ClickFunnels event, hackathon thing. And then here we are now. launching a supplement brand very soon, and we launched our software in March. That's my story.
That is amazing. And I love how what started as an experiment with a few stone bracelets turned into this huge and amazing journey into marketing and sales and gyms and software now and agency. That's amazing. And I really think you have an interesting perspective because you have been in the shoes of all these different, I mean, you've been wearing a lot of hats and you have a lot of different angles of experience. So that's tremendously powerful. And that's really one of the reasons why I was so excited to chat with you today was because of your vantage point that very few other people have. So without any further ado, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the content. Let's talk about the fundamentals, the pillars, the critical pieces, concepts here that we need to know about building a membership business.
So one of the key things that a lot of gyms will miss, some of them get it half right, some of them don't even have any concept of it, is a front end offer. So you cannot build a gym without a irresistible front end offer. You just can't do it. Like typical people, listeners here, the way that a typical gym here or any gym in the globe actually runs their offers and their marketing without having some other external expertise, the way that they think they should do it is like, I'll just boost some posts that say free 7-day pass, or I'll just put on my website, free 7-day pass. Underneath that, here's my weekly price. And it's really, really, really not effective at all. No one wants a free 7-day pass. Like they just don't. They know that they can go on Google and they can look up gym pass, and then there's going to be 20 other gyms offering them a free 7-day pass. Like that item is such a commodity that they just don't care about it. Like for something to be valued, it has to be scarce. That is not. And it's not unique, so no one cares. They don't even they just scroll past it on their newsfeed. It doesn't even register that they've seen it. So what we need to do and what we have become very good at is creating these front end offers that typically you'll package you kind of productize their service. So first 21 to 6 weeks, we will make a challenge or a project or a transformation. We give it some kind of name. It could be Exhausted to Energized project. It could be Elite Physique project. It could be 6-week challenge. We can give the front end thing, it's the same thing each time, but we just give it a new name and kind of repackage and resell the same thing over and over again so that it looks different to the market over and over and over again. And then each of those will have its own niche. So it's crucial that we niche cycle. I call it niche cycling, which is where we'll because in a local audience, you have a very limited audience size. You got like maybe 50,000 people within 5 miles. So we kind of split it up into niches. We'll exhaust the women that are 30 to 50, and then we'll go for women that are 50 to 65, and then we'll go for men that are 65 to 50. And we kind of cycle between all of these things until the audience fatigues, and then we'll move to the next one. So what we're doing is, the way I imagine it is, we've got like this barrel of fish, and we farm out of that barrel of fish until there's just enough fish that it can replenish again, and then we move on to the next one. So it's like sustainable fish farming. But the front end offer is the key thing that they miss, and then the niche cycling that comes after that. So the front end offer, it has to be super irresistible. Our goal of that is to have kind of liquidate our costs to acquire that client. So we call that client financed acquisition, which is where it covers our marketing expenses from our team perspective, the ad spend, and then their sales representative or whoever's working those leads. All we really want to do is cover that. And then on the back end is where they make the sales. That's where they make the profit. So they might sell it for $5.99 for a 6-week program of some kind. And then we want to make that journey for that client as impactful, full of upsells. They get an upsell opportunity at day 0, day 21, and day 6. And then you try to reactivate them after that if you don't get them, with the goal of getting them on some kind of membership for like $50 a week or $100 a week. So you typically get about 70% of people will take the upsell. So then basically what you've done, you sign up 20 people, you've made 10 grand on the front end. That's covered everything in expenses, while everyone else has tried to do free 7-day passes. They've made $0. You're 10 grand ahead of them. you can outspend them in the market. And then on the back end, you've got 20 people that you can then convert 15 of them onto $50 a week membership, which is worth $2,500 a year. So that is how a successful gym works.
That's incredible. So you're, instead of giving away 7 days for free and then putting them on the membership, you're bundling a lot of things into a big, not hyped up, but like a well-positioned program almost that will get people super engaged. That's a higher ticket item. And then they pay that up front, which covers all of your marketing. And then as they're participating in that program, the 4 to 6 week program, that's when you're then able to almost retarget them in a way and then get them on that membership.
Yeah. So something that I took from a lot of Russell Brunson, he's very good with his webinars, and he has a value stack at the end. So the value stack is something that we implemented in the gyms. Basically, we get them to, like, a gym will typically have, there's classes that they have. Most of the gyms that we work with have classes because they're higher value services, so we prefer to sell those. So most of them have classes, some of them have PT. What they don't realize is that with that, they also have other things that they give anyway, but they don't necessarily price it out. So you could have the accountability. That's worth something, right? Someone who's going to message you when you don't show up, someone who's going to be your coach throughout that process. The accountability coach is worth value. So we get them to split that out in the value stack. Some of them will do nutrition. They just say, oh yeah, this program includes nutrition. We don't want to do that. We want to stack it out. Say this is the nutrition. That's worth X amount of dollars per week. And then we've got all these other freebies that we can get in there. A lot of, like, I don't know why eCommerce doesn't do it as much, but you can hand out a whole heap of digital freebies that cost you nothing. They might not ever open them. They might not really care about them, but people like to see that they get a whole bunch of freebies. So we have ebooks that will give them, like recipe books, at-home training books. You just stack off 5 different books that they'll probably never open, but it looks cool because you can say they're worth $40 each. And then from there, you can, what we do very well, and I've seen eCommerce do it as well, actually, is we will go to other local businesses and set up relationships with them so we can get a lead magnet or some kind of free offer from them, typically like a free 30-minute massage or a free cut and color that we can put in our little pack, and then it's worth $100. And then that business gets a lead. It costs us nothing. We get to put another $100 onto our stack. So then we end up with a stack worth like $2,000. And when we tell them that they can get it for $599, looks like a bargain.
Well, it is a bargain at that point. I mean, that's a really, really good offer. That's awesome. So are you doing that, this 4 to 6 week program, are you bringing them to a physical location inside of the gym, or is this online, like a webinar type of experience or masterclass? How do you break down the actual deployment of this program?
It used to all be in person. Now with COVID, there's probably 60% of gyms are just doing phone calls. It's been quite interesting to see, because especially the older demographic, it's near impossible to get them to walk into the gym right now without some kind of phone call first, whereas before you could do it. In terms of statistics, it used to be like, for the younger audience, you can typically get about a 30 to 40, 50% scheduling rate on leads that come in. But then in the older audience, it's only around like 10, 11% scheduling rate. So the older market is significantly more affected by COVID than the younger one. But yeah, we get them, at the moment, we're scheduling most of them in for a phone call, and then they have reminders about that phone call, and then we call them up at that time and make the sale. Yeah.
Right on. Okay, so that is the first pillar here, is this front end offer. And can we dive a little bit more into our upsells and downsells and cross sells? Because we talked a little bit before about this of the different pillars, and that's the next one. So I really want to drill down into that.
So upsells, I think, you shouldn't feel limited by the amount of upsells that you can provide. Like, some of the things I'm always toying around with, and I think we'll do it eventually, is like, you can sell insurance, you can sell life insurance, you can become affiliates for a lot of things. I'm thinking more from the gym space. Like, the people that come into the community, they buy $50,000 a year worth of stuff from other people. Why can't they buy $50,000 worth of stuff from you instead of these other people? There's no reason they can't. Like, you've already built up the trust from that brand. You've already built up the community. They know, like, trust you. They visit you 3-4 days a week. You may as well use that and give them something valuable that they're going to buy anyway. So we, on like a 6-week journey, if someone comes in, we will try to upsell them onto the $50 a week membership on day 0. So we'll say, hey, we'll give you the full 6-week challenge for free if you sign up now, which is $50 a week. So you don't have to pay the $5.99. You just start paying $50 a week. That's upsell 1. Upsell kind of 1.5 is we will try to get a referral from that straight away as well. We'll say, okay, typically the people who come in here and get the best results are someone that bring a friend and train with their friends. You keep each other accountable. You both get to enjoy this exciting new transformational experience together. Here's a $50 voucher you can give them, or $50 gym dollars. We call it, like, let's say the gym's called XYZ Fitness. Here's 50 XYZ Fitness dollars that you can give away, kind of like Monopoly money. And we teach them how to give us referrals. And then we get the referral. Day 21, if we haven't converted them from a short-term client to long-term client, we'll again try to give them the 6-week challenge that they paid as credit onto the membership for 12 months, but we apply it to our inflated price. So it ends up being the price that we wanted them at anyway. And then week 6, if they still haven't converted, we will try to upsell them again onto the long-term. So that's how we get people from short-term to long-term. Then without that, throughout that process, you also have other upsells. So day 2, there's a nutrition consultation, and there you'll upsell them like $300 worth of supplements. So supplements you can typically get a 30 to 40% margin on. So if we were to sell them $300, you might make $100 profit. And then instead of just selling them the one-time supplement bundle, you give them a 10% discount and kind of make it a standard, a default, that they just get it as a subscription. So every month they just get that new pack sent to them every month. Oh, okay, everyone else does this. Let me know if you don't want to do that too. And then that's the default on, and then they have to opt out of that. And most people, they just go with it. As long as you're not selling them crap, they'll just go with it. And then you're suddenly selling them membership, which is $200 a month. And then you're also selling them the supplements, which is $300 a month. So now this client's spending $500 a month with you. Then on Alibaba, you can basically become a supplier for anything from Alibaba, right? So we will be able to buy little fit bands for $8 each, and then you can sell them to clients for $70 each. You can sell like these glasses, the blue filter glasses. You can basically become a retail store as well, make the gym into a retail store. So I like to focus on the things that are kind of health focused, and then you can put those in the gym. Apparel, they have quite nice margins too. So there's plenty of upsells.
That's brilliant. It seems like you're really exploring every opportunity to provide more value to the people. And it seems like in the beginning, you're really pushing hard on, let's get into the membership. Let's get into the monthly recurring products, like your gym memberships, your supplements, your other subscription-based items. And then once you've exhausted those, then you're looking into bringing in other physical products, drop shipping them, or importing them from AliExpress, which is obviously very, very easy with different softwares like Dropified. And the cool part about that is, I think some of the principles that we can take from this and put into the e-commerce world and bring this into the e-commerce world is, there are many things that we can sell as a subscription item on our store. And once we get people in on that subscription, there's nothing that says we can't then offer them other products and keep on building and building and building in the value that we provide to them, and also in the average amount of profit per customer. And it seems like we're just increasing the average order value per customer and the lifetime value of that customer. And I think that's so, so, so powerful. That really is brilliant how you're doing that. And how you're structuring that. A question for you here. Let's say for an online store or for any business really, would you ever try selling them a single unit of a much smaller item up front, then upselling into a membership? Or you're almost always going for the membership first and then stacking on other products afterwards? What are your thoughts there?
Yeah. Well, we always want to get some upfront cash to be able to pay for the cost of getting that person in. So whether that's taking the first 6 weeks of their recurring membership upfront, so okay, it's $50 a week, but we're going to bill the first $300 upfront, and then your payments will continue after the first 6 weeks. There is so many ways that you can skin the cat. All we really care about is get someone in, irresistible offer, get some cash from them, get them on recurring. So whatever you can do to achieve that objective, do it.
Perfect. Amazing. Amazing. So let's move on to our next pillar here, which is building a strong community, a really strong brand.
Yeah. So in fitness, motivation is very short-lived. So people that want to buy like a health and fitness solution, they have to part with money, they have to part with time, they have to part with effort. So you're battling against like these three things. Most things that you sell, normally they only have to part with two or one, and then they get the benefit of no longer having to worry about the other. Fitness is the opposite. You lose all things. Like you lose everything. You lose money, time, and effort. Doesn't save you any of those. It costs you all of those. So it's a very hard sell, and people lose their motivation very quickly. So they come in for the pain that they feel typically originally, because they feel like they're very unconfident and they don't like the way they look. 70% of the people that respond to ads are ladies that are 25 to 50 years old, which is quite a lot. And then they really dive into their pains. But that is that's what they come in for originally. And then we need to make sure that they are involved in the community from day one, and they stay because they love the ladies there. They love the other guys there. They love coming. They love the routine. They love feeling good about themselves. They love the way that we reinforce their confidence. They love the way that we make them feel and the energy that they get from it. We track their progress so that they can actually see that they are achieving results over time, and you can keep reaffirming how well they're doing. You know, they might come in and they might still feel not great, but look, Sarah, you've lost 4 kilos over the last month. Like, that's great. Why wouldn't you be happy with that? Keep having them do goal setting and then events all the time. So we'll have constant community events, try to get people to mingle with each other. There'll just be fun days where to take them onto the beach and just do like an outdoor session or something, or maybe we take them all to the cinemas, or maybe we take them all on a hike. Like, we want to try to build the community, because ultimately it's the community that will stop them from leaving, and it's the community that keeps them accountable and enjoying the process.
So when you're going about building that community, if you have a very few people, are you doing things that don't really scale well, like doing almost super personal things that you could only do with a few people? And then as you're expanding and growing your community size, then you're trying different things that are a bit less personal? Or how do you really scale up that community experience?
Like, one of the things you can do is send people handwritten letters. So it's just a nice touch. People enjoy it. So if you got a handwritten letter that says how much you appreciate them being there and how proud of them you are for what they've done so far, and then at the end you can have a little cheeky offer like why don't you send us some referrals? You can always slip in the little call to action at the end, but you can do that when you can handwrite those in the early days, and then in the later days you can just start printing them and it scales up quite nicely, or you can get outsource the handwriting of that. Sending them free teddies, like if you have a community teddy. So some of the things our top guys will do is they'll have like a mascot, a gym mascot, and then someone has to take the mascot home with them each week and take a photo of the mascot somewhere, and then they share it on the Facebook page and share it in the Facebook group and hang it up on the wall in the gym, so that you've just got this random community mascot, but it's fun and it's like you're back in school again. So there's a lot of little things that you can do that, like ClickFunnels, for example, does really well. Russell Brunson, he's got his little funnel hacker community. It's not little anymore. It's like 200,000 people in his funnel hacker community. Like, this is an online business and an online service, and they've got this massive community of funnel hackers. They're sending them t-shirts, right? Same with many brands out there. They have these very diehard communities. Harley Davidson, like, they're just selling choppers, right? They're selling motorbikes, and they have people getting tattoos. They have people that are dying for that brand, literally dying in gang wars for that brand. Like, there's a lot. Yeah.
So maybe we don't want to encourage our customers to die in gang wars. That would be not so awesome, but I definitely see what you're saying of find ways to get creative and put that personal touch in the beginning, and then slip in some cheeky offers at the end. I love how you did that. And then as it grows, then obviously you're going to have to adapt and grow with the community and do what needs to be done there to keep it alive. But I love that part. And as we know, communities are incredibly powerful because it does a lot of the heavy lifting of the retention piece for us. So we don't always have to be nurturing our customers. They'll kind of nurture themselves when the community is strong enough. So it's a huge plus to have a thriving community. So that's powerful. Let's move on to our last part, our last column here, and talk about data and the importance of knowing our numbers.
Yeah. Gym owners are notoriously bad with numbers and data. Like, fair enough, they didn't get into the industry to look at data. They got in because they like training people, and they're typically more extroverted, and they typically like moving around a lot. So data isn't most of them, it's not their exciting thing, right? Me as an engineer back in the day, that kind of excites me a bit more than the average gym owner. But it's very, very common for a gym to make these very aspiratic decisions. They'll be like, oh no, my bank balance has decreased by $1,000. I got to cancel everything. Even though that $1,000 was spent on ads that in a week will turn into $5,000. Like, they just make these very quick, snap, emotional decisions, kind of like a knee-jerk emotional decision that really is not logically founded. Because they don't know their numbers, they don't know their data, they haven't dialed in their process enough that they can spend $1,000 on ads, get back, let's say, $5,000 on the front end, which then gets them $20,000 on the back end. So we have to track every single part of the process, and then the business should just become about the percentages of each parts of that process. So you've got number of leads, number of consults, number of shows, number of sales, number of upsells, number of months that you retain them for, number of referrals, right? So these are our key numbers in the gym. And then we know this one might be 80%, 80%, 60%, 70%, 30%. You've just got percentages that determine each of those numbers from each of the funnels. And then it's just about how do we increase the percentages on all of these. And then the business just becomes turning dials as much as possible. And basically it makes you more money. So if you don't know that, what do you do? Like, you don't know what you like. Oh, maybe I'll go boost some more posts, or maybe I'll raise my prices, which typically most businesses need to raise their prices. They end up undercutting themselves, and it's a race to the bottom. And I don't recommend that unless there's like some strategic value behind that, such as a front end offer. Maybe you just want to get them in, get their contact details, get their email, get their phone number, start SMSing and emailing them offers. Yeah, so they need to know the numbers, track it all. I just hired a data scientist yesterday, which I'm very excited about because we're building out a massive, because we have so many gyms, we're going to get 100 different ad accounts and get all that data from 100 different ad accounts, put it into our data scientist, who's also a machine learning expert, is building out a platform for us to be able to learn from 100 ad accounts at once, rather than each Facebook ad account learn from that individual campaign. We're going to gather all that 100 times that, and then put it in the data bank, and then basically learn from that and apply machine learning across all that accounts. So I'm very excited for that.
That is brilliant. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to hear the results of that. that is insanely cool. And we were talking before the show of not knowing your data is kind of like going out on a sailboat with a blindfold in the middle of the ocean and trying to figure that one out. And if you're not very in tune with your numbers, you don't understand your data, I mean, you're flying blind, and it's dangerous at that point, and you risk losing everything and going out of business because somebody who does know their numbers and can figure out how to make their numbers work better than you will definitely put you out of business.
Yeah.
So it's just unbelievably important. So I do want to thank you so much, Riley, for coming on the show today. We talked about our 4 different pillars here, drop some serious value bombs, serious knowledge, and going through those 4 pillars, there's so many principles that apply both to gyms and e-commerce. And I think some of the best entrepreneurs on the planet are people who can take concepts that work really well in one industry and bring them over and implement them into another. So thank you very much for giving us optics into what's really working for gyms and giving us the opportunity to take those principles and apply it into our e-commerce businesses. And again, thank you very much, and thank you very much for your time as well.
Thank you, Ben, and thank you to all the listeners or watchers, because thanks for having me. It's always enjoy sharing this kind of stuff. It gets me fired up.
Absolutely. Me too. And for people who want to learn a little bit more about you, maybe get connected, what's the best place or places that they can go to learn more about you?
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. If you look Riley Stewart, RILEYSTEWART, you'll see me on there, the handsome guy.
Awesome.
They're my 3 best channels. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, again, Riley, I want to thank you so much for hopping on the show. Thank you very much for your time. To everybody who's watching and listening, thank you all very much. Y'all rock, and I will see everybody on the next episode. Take care now.